All right, more details that are coming in on Kejriwal's arrest as he currently stands arrested with the Enforcement Directorate. They are seeking for a 10-day custody of Kejriwal. We hear that Kejriwal has had dinner before entering his lockup. ED lockup has AC but no bed. A blanket has been provided. Kejriwal has been offered tea, coffee and breakfast. This is, of course, we're giving you information on the condition of Kejriwal inside the lockup. He's a Chief Minister of the national capital. What are the comforts he's got inside the ED lockup? Of course, as given to all else, Kejriwal too has been offered coffee, tea, breakfast, a blanket, and no AC though, but it seems like a comfortable environment for the moment. He's also had dinner even before he was taken into ED lockup last night. This is information that we have, and sources tell us that Kavita and Kejriwal are kept in the same complex. That's the big information that we have. Kavita, who is the PRS MLC, former MP and daughter of Chandrasekhar Rao, who is a former Chief Minister of Telangana. She has been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate on the same case, the Delhi liquor policy case. Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, and BRS MLC K. Kavita are said to be in the same complex right now as they have been arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Piyush Mishra joining us live from Rouse Avenue Court for more on that. Piyush, give us more details on Kejriwal and K. Kavita. Both of them are said to be in the same complex where ED have arrested both of them in the same case. Is that right? Do we know if they're in the same complex? They're placed there before the court hearing?
Well, certainly, Namila, both of them have been kept in the same office of Enforcement Directorate, which is there near the Khan Market area of National Capital. Because remember that a couple of days back, K. Kavita was also arrested from her residence in Hyderabad. She was brought to Delhi, and then the court had granted 7 days custody of K. Kavita to Enforcement Directorate. As we are speaking, K. Kavita and Arvind Kejriwal continue to be in the same office of Enforcement Directorate. What we are also given to understand is that in few minutes from now, Arvind Kejriwal would be brought here at Rouse Avenue Court, where the ED is likely to seek a 10 days custody of Arvind Kejriwal. I am right now present at Rouse Avenue Court, and ahead of the hearing, which is also to take place in Arvind Kejriwal's arrest, massive deployment has been done by the Delhi police. Let me try to show you the pictures from this very area. There are multiple layers of barricading, so have been put forth here. Section 144 is now in place, and this deployment has been done looking at the kind of call which has been given by Aam Aadmi Party to its workers to congregate at different points to protest against the Kejriwal's arrest. Right now, which you are seeing is the first layer of barricade, and if my camera person Abhishek pans his camera, you will be able to see as to how the another layer of barricading is here, and this shows as to how the entire area has been completely fortified. That's the second layer of barricading, which is here at the intersection which crosses the Rouse Avenue Court. After that, if you move beyond, we will see the third layer of barricading. You see as to how massive deployment of police personnel has been done here. That's the third layer of barricading which has been put here by the Delhi police officials. In fact, more barricades are being brought here. And after the third layer of barricading, we have now the fourth layer of barricading. So there are 4 to 5 layers of barricading which has been put here in front of Rouse Avenue Court. That's the very complex of Rouse Avenue Court, where the Arvind Kejriwal would be brought in few minutes from now. What we are given to understand is that at around 2:30 he will be brought here, and then ED will be producing him in the PMLA court, where ED will be talking about the kind of evidences those have so far been collected by Enforcement Directorate during its course of investigation in the last 2 years. Remember that the Enforcement Directorate a couple of days back had also released a press statement where it had mentioned about the fact how the key conspirators in this case are Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia and K. Kavita, because on the request of K. Kavita only the liquor policy was tweaked, which ultimately provided benefits to the South cartel, and following which the kickbacks were received by Aam Aadmi Party worth more than 100 crore rupees, and that particular money was also used for the elections in various states like Goa, Gujarat and other states where the Aam Aadmi Party contested. So the entire money trail has been established. The amount of money which was received in this entire case has also been established. Multiple courts have also gone against the
money trail has been
leaders
established.
of Aam Aadmi Party. Today,
money trail has been established, but while in court, when hearing the matter for Manish Sisodia's bail, it appeared that the ED officers weren't really able to present the money trail as such. There was no evidence of a money trail. There was no proceeds of the crime that they had tracked down to. So a lot of questions being raised on what exactly has the ED found. We're going to know what happens at 2:30 in about an hour's time, where exactly Piyush is right now, the Rouse Avenue Court. They're going to take up the hearing on Arvind Kejriwal's remand. Stay with us, Piyush. As we know, Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal now stands arrested. The AAP, as a party, has made it clear that Kejriwal will remain the Chief Minister of Delhi despite his arrest. So big question here is, how exactly can Kejriwal run the Delhi government from prison? No law would stop Kejriwal from running his government from behind bars. He can hold meetings, sign documents, take all decisions, but he can be disqualified if at all he is convicted, which he hasn't yet been. President can also release Kejriwal from his duty as the Chief Minister if asked by the Delhi LG. But in this case, AAP can move court too, if at all removed as the Chief Minister by the President as well. So there is legal recourse if in case this turns to the Delhi LG demanding that Kejriwal be released from his duties. Now, nonetheless, running a government from behind bars might just, of course, hinder Kejriwal's operation as a Chief Minister from prison. It could really hamper efforts in governing the national capital itself. Files that need to be presented to the LG, which usually goes via Kejriwal, will now need an alternative route. Kejriwal, who typically presides over cabinet meetings, has to delegate this task to a minister. The Chief Minister heads the committee responsible for transfers and postings. File movement, not in-person meetings, may all have to suffice. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal, though, has insisted that these allegations against him are false because there's no proceeds of the crime that has been found, not a rupee has been recovered, no cash trail or money trail that they've detected. So what exactly are the allegations? But the ED, in fact, it was first a CBI case where they were probing case of corruption, which eventually led to the Enforcement Directorate suspecting money laundering. And the ED claims that they have enough to show that the Aam Aadmi Party netas have certainly benefited from the proceeds of the crime. But where is the proceeds of the crime? Have they recovered any of it? All of that we'll know in the matter and course of the investigation. Now, AAP protests, meanwhile, simmers across the nation. AAP workers stage massive protests across India. In fact, Arvind Kejriwal was arrested late last night, and soon after we saw in Ahmedabad, workers there hitting the streets. In Kerala as well, protesters hitting the streets. We saw in Punjab. At Delhi's ITO area, the police were, in fact, trying to manage the situation as many of the Aam Aadmi Party netas were also detained. Several AAP leaders, including Saurabh Bharadwaj and Atishi Marlena, were taken into they were briefly detained and let off. Police was also seen manhandling Atishi. Those are the images that came in a little earlier. Police had imposed Section 144 earlier in ITO area to avoid any untoward incident. In fact, Saurabh Bharadwaj has alleged that Kejriwal's family has been put under house arrest. Kejriwal supporters have questioned the timing of this arrest right ahead of Lok Sabha elections. Meanwhile, DMK leaders and their workers were also seen protesting in Chennai against the ED arrest of their India bloc ally. Meanwhile, Delhi police have issued advisory of roads that will be blocked due to simmering protests, asking people not to venture out unless necessary.